Hey, this is Brandon Bigger. What I have here on the stand is the Flash from the JLA, and it is from McFarlane DC Multiverse. It is not gold label, it is not collector edition, it is not platinum or anything like that. It's just a regular release. So it costs about $28 or so. So it is pretty expensive for like a standard, you know, Flash figure. And this is the same exact mold as the Task Force Flash. So it's a pretty good figure and is much better than the Task Force Flash. And I will show you that in the comparison. So anyway, without further ado, let's get him off the stand and take a closer look. Now we're going to look at scale in comparison. I'm going to start with the on Flash figures, which are Shazam and Batman. Right, I have to fix his feet. So, got that. So Shazam and Batman, and the Flash looks pretty good next to these guys. So yeah, Flash looks pretty good. Let's compare them to Superman figures, and you can see that the Flash looks pretty good next to these guys as well. I never saw the Flash as 6 foot guy, like a 6 footer. Never really saw him that way. I always saw him as a 5'8" to 5'10" kind of superhero. So he's kind of like same height as Spider-Man basically. So yeah, this is a good height for the Flash for sure. And yeah, that's a custom Superman. Well, it's not a custom, it's more of a kit bash. And I don't like it. This is a Jokerized Superman. I swapped the parts, and I don't know if I really like that, so I'm not sure. But anyway, we're gonna compare to the Flash figures. Honestly, the shade of red is so much better on this, and it's missing the gold paint on the boots, but everything else is so nice, so nice. That's why I still have them. I love the color, the red color on here. Absolutely beautiful. I wish that was on here because this is more muted red. You can see the comparison with the reds here. It's pretty obvious that this one looks way better. Yeah. And this one is just the video game sprite kind of shading. You can't really see it. So it's such a useless thing. And it's got some cell shading on the yellow parts. And yeah, it's just ugly. It's terrible. This is the exact same mold as this one, just without the cell shading. So it looks so much better. So if I were to recommend you a good Flash figure, it'll be either one of these two. So these are good Flash figures. Oh, I forgot to show you one more Wally West Flash. It's the Toonified animated series Wally West Flash, and yeah, it looks pretty good. Just standing straight up, it looks good, but this guy cannot pose worth crap. It is a horrible action figure. But this one cannot pose that well. I did some custom on this guy. What I did is I changed the torso. I made it better. I'll show that in the articulation department, but I'll show that in the articulation section. But I changed the torso on this. On this one, and it poses way better. See, this one cannot do that at all. You have to mod it. So I'll show that in the articulation part. Let's do the articulation now. Okay, I'm gonna go over articulation real fast. His head looks up this far. down this far, side to side tilt, full 360 swivel. Watch for these wings on his head, so they can get broken if you're not careful, you know, or get bent mostly. And then there's this free falling shoulder joint. It has a little cap that fills up the gap in that shoulder area, and it goes up that far, down that far, back, forward. It goes up this far. Full rotation, double jointed elbows. It still has pins. The elbows, the shape of the elbows are okay. They're it's a little ugly. I would say pretty ugly. Yeah, it's very unsightly in the front, especially. So it's got very tiny wrist joints, and they're a little tight. So be careful with that. So yeah, it has a wrist joint. What do you call them? Ball joint, and a swivel, and a hinge. So it has a swivel and a hinge. So this is a hinge right here, and then this is a swivel. So you can move it any direction you want. And then the chest, we move it back. Chest arches back this far, very far, but crunches forward barely any. So it's weird that this arches way more in the back, which makes no sense. If you turn this around and then this one around, I bet it might have some, I don't know, let me see. It's still the same way. So it's just the way it is designed on the top part in the, you know, the chest area right here. So yeah, it's not very good. And then there's a side tilt, right? And you know, you just saw a full 360 swivel on the top and the bottom. And then it has a full-on split thanks to the soft diaper piece. And kicks up about this far, which is okay. And kicks back this far. You can see a little bit of gap there, but it's not too bad because the diaper piece can cover that up a little bit. And thigh swivel, barely, and it closes in pretty good. Not too bad. And double jointed knees, which is good, has good range, but it's kind of ugly in the front. But it's not too bad, honestly. It's not too bad looking. And then it has angle swivel and kicks up this far. Let me straighten that cap. The foot points upwards this far, downwards this far, which is very good. It's very smooth, you can see. So that looks really good. And ankle pivot. So it goes all the way like this. So yeah, it has very good feet articulation, in my opinion. But it's ratcheted. So, and it has toe hinges. I forgot to show you that. Toe hinge is good. It's completely painted all the way through. So that's nice. So that's it for articulation. Now, when it comes to articulation, I did some mod on the lower torso. Let me show you. So there's an app crunch. This is a Task Force cell shaded flash figure, not the glossy one. This is the glossy one, the more updated version. So you can do an app crunch so much better than this one, and you can look up a little bit more because I use a longer double ball peg in the head. This one is shorter, so that's why you can't really look up that far. See? And so the bottom part, I'll show you. Okay, I took it apart with heat. You can see the bottom part. Let me get closer. There. You see the bottom part, I cut it up with the X-Acto knife very carefully and went up to here. Before it was a perfectly circular shape of a hole. Now I added a little bit of gap in there. It makes a huge difference in the articulation. Also, I cut up the top part of the abdomen area just a little bit, just like this, but in the front. And you can see the hole. Let me get closer. See, you can see the hole on the top. So there's more range in the front like that. So gives you a lot of range. Now I want to go over Sculpt Paint, and this time this one is painted a lot better than the Task Force version. Obviously, this one is cleaner. It has a cleaner lightning bolt symbol. You see, it's very clean, and it's got painted gold on there, which is fantastic. And it's got gold thingies on around the forearms, and gold paint on the belt all the way around, which is very nice. And then gold boots. And I like what they did with the wrist joints. I mean, the ankle joints there. It looks like it's not painted. Not really. It's just they tried their best to match the color with the gold parts. So that it will not scrape off the paint. So they did a good job with that. Honestly, I'm really happy they did that. That's really good. Really, really good. I like that. And it's painted all the way on the inside too, as you can see. So that's very cool if you ask me. And it's got holes on the bottom, so you can stand them up on your shelf without falling. So yeah, it looks good. It's very simple. And this head looks pretty good. I can't help but think this looks like he looks like a young Triple H. You remember Triple H from WWF? Back then he had this expression. Looks a lot like Triple H. But other than that, it's a pretty good head sculpt. I like the wings on his head, so that looks cool. I like the eyes. He looks very serious. I don't mind it, but usually he's more of a comedy relief, in my opinion. I watched the Justice League Unlimited, and this guy has always been like a comedy relief type of guy. He's, just someone who's, lightens up the mood. He brightens up the room, and I don't know, it's hard to explain. But anyway, yeah, it looks good. It's a good head sculpt, and it matches the head, matches with the rest of the body, so that looks good. Now, the wrist joints are good, but they are so small. I don't know what to tell you. It's really small, and what bothers me is these forearms. The shape, the size of these forearms are so small. I mean, everything else is proportionate. His chest, his head, his legs, his feet. It all looks proportionate except for his forearms. If you cover up his forearms, it looks good. But if you show his forearms, it's like, whoa, it looks a little off. So yeah, he has some sort of like chicken wings kind of look on his arms. Not a fan. But other than that, it looks pretty good. It's really simple, very classic. This is Wally West, not Barry Allen, because of the white eyes and the belt. So that's the difference. and gold parts of the, the yellow parts are being gold. So yeah, that's it for Sculpt Paint. Looks good. Now when it comes to accessories, you're getting a card, 2 pairs of hands, and 3 pairs of hands total, and a disc stand. So that's all you're getting for accessories. And remember, this guy is $28 in stock retail right now. So okay, do you guys remember the time when McFarlane released these digital waves? You guys remember that? Remember that Silver Age Superman, Silver Age Joker, and that blue Batman? Anybody remember that? You guys remember the price on these things? They were like $28, weren't they? Okay, this is without the digital thing, the digital scam that they're using. Without that, you're getting $28 with all of this. Bare minimum. Bare minimum. $28. That's funny how that works, huh? Let's do some poses and my opinion. This is a decent figure when it comes to Flash, especially Wally West Flash. It's pretty decent, and the proportion of the head compared to the body is much better. McFarlane just made another one for Barry Allen, and the head is way too small for the body. Way too small. But this Wally West, though, the head looks like a perfect size for the body, so it's more proportionate. It looks much better. And I love the gold paint all over it. I love that. And I wish the red was more vibrant, but I'm okay with it. I love the logo on his chest. Super clean logo is awesome. I love that. And the head sculpt is, I mean, the face itself is it's good. I'm not complaining. It's not a bad head sculpt, but I'm not a fan of those wings on his head, and I'm not a fan of that expression. It looks like Triple H, very he has that grimace and he's always mad and grunting. Um, so I'm not a fan of that expression. I would much rather have him smirk. I would like a smirking expression. That would have been more fitting for Wally West. Another problem I have with this figure is the lack of articulation. When it comes to this price point, $27, this figure is supposed to be very, very posable, right? It barely comes with a lot of stuff. I mean, it only comes with a card and alternate hands. Not even alternate head with different expression. None of that. Not even unmasked head. It's just alternate hands, which I'm grateful for. I really like that. But it just sucks that it's really light on accessories and they're charging $27 for it. And I don't think it warrants $27. Honestly, I really don't. So if you pass this guy, you're not really missing out unless you want to make a Justice League display. So if you have a Justice League display that you want, with Wonder Woman, Superman, Flash, and all that, this is the figure to use. It's perfect. And another problem I have with this is the arms. These are very tiny arms, and these elbows are really jacked up, really ugly. So, yeah, that's it. Well, thank you for watching, and hope you enjoyed this video. And don't forget to subscribe, and hopefully I see you again on the next video. Take care.